Conscious Creators, Conscious Ones. Good evening, I'm Jean. It is time for the Conscious Creators Toolbox. Thursday, it's Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Gonna be with you for 45 minutes to an hour or so. Kind of say, just kind of talk about some creative powers, creative abilities. So good evening. Welcome to the Conscious Creators Toolbox. It's an opportunity to take those creative powers out of your tool, out of the tool shed, out of your tool box, and fine tune them up, sharpen them up, get to know, get familiar with them. Sometimes we don't have them, we don't use them. We just manifest off of, we're just out there manifesting like we know what we're doing, and we got all these tools that we need to pull out and put to use. So we're gonna talk a little bit. That's what we do. That's what we do at Conscious Creators Toolbox. So come on in. We're listening to Bonnie James. I think it's Full Effects by Bonnie James. This is the album. I can't remember the name of the album, but it's one of his. It's his latest one. Anyway, come on in. Oh, Happy New Year, by the way. This is actually the first session of 2021. Oh, let me say this. I'm gonna put it on pause in a minute. But I want to let Facebook know that we are just enjoying Boney. We have no rights to his music. We're not. We just love music. We enjoy it. So we're playing it a little bit to, just kind of settle things in and settle down a little bit. Anyway, welcome to the Conscious Creators Toolbox on Thursday, January the 7th, 2021. Happy New Year, Conscious Ones, co-creators. Happy New Year to you. We made it through. We made it through that first year of the 2020 decade. I know we couldn't get rid of it fast enough. It gave us some fits, but hey, we made it. Look at us. Here we are. We made it through that first year of that decade. And it was an eye-opener, a roller coaster of a ride it was. We have long left that comfort zone of the 2019 and before. We put all that behind us. That's all a thing of the past. We don't even know what comfort zone means anymore. We don't even know what it looks like. Anyway, how's everybody doing? How are you doing? How are you settling into I'm gonna call it never know what's gonna happen. That's what the new zone is called. Never know what's gonna happen next. And we don't know what it's gonna be, but we're ready. We call it a world of uncertainty. That's what we are. That's our new comfort zone, y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna shut off Bonnie James. I'm one of his fans. I'm one of his favorites. One of his fans. So, I used to be a groupie that followed him all over Southeast, but that hasn't been happening with COVID. So I just kind of have to listen to him record it. So, but I'm gonna shut him down. I'll shut him down there and get ready for the Conscious Creators Toolbox. Shut it all the way down. Again, we have no rights to the music. We just enjoy it. We enjoy it. Anyway, so we did. We made it through. We made it through 2020. Now we're in 2021. It's 2021. And we're still kind of getting used to stuff because things are still happening, And I don't think it's going to change, y'all. It's just, we just got to have to learn how to, roll with the punches and go with the flow. Because maybe we have to learn how to surf. Because the waves are going to be all over the place probably over the next few years anyway. At least that's what they tell me. That's what my sign says, I don't know. But anyway, I'm an Aquarian, so, this is our age. Back the age of it finally got here, it was dawning. It was dawning and dawning and dawning. And it happened, I think it happened in December. It's going to be hanging around for a while. So we're going to be, some Aquarians are going to be up all up in your face and your business and all out there, doing whatever we do. I don't know. But anyway, it's our age now. So are we still getting used to 2021? We're getting used to this decade, this new stuff, new thing. Yeah, I think so. I've been talking to clients and I don't get as many calls about, they're worried and they're scared or afraid of anything, or, they seem to be kind of settling into this new role of, uncertainty. I did a lot of coaching and sharing and helping people kind of get through, it's just, you're just not going to be able to know what it's going to be like anymore. You're just going to have to wake up tomorrow and just tomorrow or next day and say, okay, bring it on. I'm ready. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay ready, don't plant, don't be so hard and determined that this is how it's got to be and how it's going to turn out. Be a little flexible. Let the universe surprise you. I've always of the mind that God and Father, universe, whatever you call your higher power, can do a whole lot better than we can do. We can just imagine it, but they put all the ingredients together and put it together, and it's usually so much more than what we could even ask for or even imagine. Because they know how to do it. Father knows how to do it right. Do it out. So anyway, so stay grounded, stay focused, and just stay on your toes, and like they say, be ready to pivot and turn, or whatever you have to do. Catch the ball and take it down the court. You'll be okay. So let's see. Tonight, again, welcome to Conscious Creators Toolbox. And if you're here for the first time, let me tell you what it's all about. It is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to, kind of get to know what your powers are, what your creative powers and abilities are, and who you are. And I always like to pull this out there and let you know that we know, conscious creators and the conscious ones know that we are creators. We are the creators and the manifestors of our destinies and our realities and our lives. And we are because we're created by Creator and universe and God and Father and the great I am, divine. We are created out of by Creator, out of the same stuff that Creator is made from and made out of, and we can do, and we have the same powers, and we can do those same things that Creator can do. And Creator creates. Creator creates. We're made out of the same stuff of creation called energy, and we can do and create, manifest, just like Father and just like Creator can do. The Creator, Father, withholds nothing from us. Everything is at our is accessible to us, at our disposal. We just have to, just tune in and stay connected and be prepared and manifest. And again, we create, whether we do it on purpose or did I do that? Yeah, you created that. Yeah, and we have to undo and redo. We do that too. So, what we try to do here in Conscious Creators Toolbox and being, conscious creators ourselves and understanding who we are, we try to be aware so we can deliberately and purposefully manifest the life that we want, create our lives, create the destinies that we want for us. We want to have. We want the experiences. We want to create the experiences that we have. We want to create those connections and those relationships that we want, that we desire, that we dream about. That's what we want to do, and that's what we do in Conscious Creators Toolbox. We understand that. We get an understanding about that, understanding about who we are, and we manifest. We do it on purpose. We do it on purpose. So tonight this whole month we're going to be talking about that connection with your higher self. We're going to be talking about that connection. We understand that we have connections with one another and each other and connections with, in all kind of roles or whatever. But that connection with our higher self, it is the foundation of the connection with everything else and everything else that we do. With everything and everybody, and how we do it and how we connect. It kind of defines that relationship, those relationships and those connections, the other connections. It's the basic foundation, the connection with your higher self. And we're going to be talking about that all month. We're going to be looking at what is that? What is the higher self? We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be looking at what's the importance of it? What difference does it make? And why are we so disconnected at times? And how do we connect? And how do we maintain that connection? We're going to kind of spend some time the whole month talking about that. But tonight we're going to specifically kind of get an overview of what do we mean when we say higher self? And there's several other terms or names for it, if you would. And we're going to kind of talk about that so we can know that we're all on the same page talking about the same things. Hi, hello, I was in. Oh, hey. So we're going to be talking about how we get, we're just going to get an overview and an understanding of what is higher self? Who is that? How can I just describe it or define it, or where is it? Can I touch it? We're going to kind of get an overview, a nice understanding of our higher self. And then the rest of the month, we're going to kind of expand that into the importance of it, how we maintain the connection, why are we disconnected? We're just going to learn all about, going to get a really good understanding of the higher self. So by the end of the month, by February, you gotta be ready to teach a class. Anyway. So again, if you're just tuning in, welcome to the Conscious Creators Toolbox for January the 7th, 2021. Happy to have you guys join us. And it's like, again, it's a time to discover, explore, and embrace your own unique powers, creative powers, and creative abilities. All right, that's what we are. And I do want to point out too, something that I try to, make it clear. We all creators. We create. That's what we do. We are manifestors. We make stuff happen, and we make stuff. We make these experiences and connections. We do all that. We're manifestors, but we can't do it alone. We have to have a partner. We have to have a co-creator. We co-create with one another. We co-create with our higher power. With our higher power, God, Creator, Divine, Father, Jehovah, whatever you call that higher power. We create that. We have to have a co-creator. So never think that you can create nothing alone. Not even the things that you create and manifest for yourself. There is somebody in the mix. You might. You may want to have have an association with them possibly, but you don't have to. But because we have those connections, and sometimes we don't have to be right up. Hey, social distances have taught us that we don't have to be together to make stuff happen, right? So we know that we can create with Father, we can create with universe, we can create with our higher power, we can create with you and I. We can sit down and create something together, you and I, whatever. But you cannot create alone. It takes two to create. Okay, so remember that. That's for a test for later. All right. So before I get started tonight, I do have a couple of announcements I wanted to make. First, I want to give a shout out to my family and my friends out at Interfaith Truth Center out on Austell Road, 4791 Austell Road in Austell, Georgia, US of A. I want to say hello to them. Happy New Year. I didn't get to service on Sunday with them. I was kind of home, but I did tune in. We have virtual service as well on Sunday at 11, so I missed it last Sunday. I wasn't there in person. But I caught you. And I want to invite you, Conscious Creators, you guys, I want you guys to check out the website. Go to the website, www.interfaith.com. And, just check out the website. You can find out, it'll find out some of the services that they offer there, some of the trainings that they do. Again, most of the services right now, because of COVID, are virtual, so you have access to them online. I know they do some meditation, teach you, give you some mindfulness training. They do some light work, and they can do some of that light work distance, virtually as well. But check it out and see some of those classes and things that they offer there, and take advantage of them. And if you're ever in the area, stop in to the shop. They have a really nice gift shop there. You can pick up your crystals and your smudging products. They have beautiful dream catchers there, beautiful orbs, and just books. It's a nice metaphysical gift store, gift shop. So you can get some gifts and things there. Jewelry, they have jewelry as well. Your tarot and oracle cards, those are available for you as well, too. So stop in, stop in and see them. And I believe you could probably even order some things online. I'm not sure how their e-store is. They're working on that, I'm thinking, but you may be able to order some things online, or you can call in and negotiate them to ship something for you if they have it for you. But they have a nice selection of crystals, from the small crystals all the way up to the huge ones that that kind of display, huge display ones. So they have a nice variety. And again, you can get your smudging supplies as well. So hello, ITC. I am speaking on the fourth Sunday there. I'll remind you when it's time, but we kind of rotate with the group of us that rotate. And my Sunday, I speak on the fourth Sunday every month, starting this month. So something else I wanted to let you know, that the fourth Thursday, starting, I believe, I'm thinking next month in February, we will be off. We will have, instead of having, we will offer in-person session on the fourth Thursday of every month, starting in February. And I have to confirm that over the next few weeks. I'll let you know for sure. Confirm that the date and place for sure on that. But we are planning to actually. You can come in and be a part of the group, have an in-person session with us, because on the fourth Thursday that's the night that if we have a guest during the month, that would be the night that we'll offer a guest. You'll have a guest come in and kind of visit with us and talk to us and share with us and give us some training, and whatever it is that they want to share and talk about, we invite them on the fourth Thursday, and on that Thursday we're opening it up to people to attend if they want to. Very limited seating. I think it's about 12 seats that will be available that night. So we're asking if we're probably going to have you reserve them. If it looks like it's going to kind of run into a problem, we're going to have to kind of reserve. I'll tell you more details about that in the future. But anyway, keep that in mind. Starting the fourth Thursday in February, we're going to be doing some in-person sessions for the Conscious Creators Toolbox. Okay, I wanted to say to remind you of our YouTube channel and our Instagram account. We have an Instagram presence and we have a YouTube channel. Team Conscious Creators on both of those. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share like us and comment and share the link, invite your friends and share the link with folk. And it's the same with Instagram. If you have an Instagram account, you can find us at Team Conscious Creators for both of those. The Conscious Creators Facebook group page is now private. And what that means is that now all of our members have access to the group post. We can post. Any and everybody can post. And I would like to invite you to post. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight before I get into my session. And so the session is going to be a little bit short, because what I want to kind of tell you, what I want to share with you, how that group page came about and what it has done in my life, and encourage you to do something either similar or take advantage of the posting. And again, I'll talk to you about that, but I would like to, just encourage you to post. I make a commitment of trying to post anywhere from 5 to 7 posts, during the day, but I won't be able to do that going forward because life is happening, and things are shifting a little bit on me, and I don't have the same availability that I had in the past. This new year is kind of taking me to, changing some routes for me, taking some things off my plate and put some other things on it. So I'm having to shift a little bit. So I won't be available. I won't be available and have that same availability to do all those posts. So I know I am not the only person that have love and light to spread around. 202 of you guys are a part of this group, and I know that all of you, because I've talked to you or messaged with you or text with you or commented back and forth with you. So I know that all of you are conscious, aware, and awakened. And conscious, aware, and awakened folk are overflowing with love and light. and positivity and high frequency. So, share it. Share it. The more you use it, the more it grows with use. Love and light and high vibration, the more you vibrate, the higher it gets. The more love you pour out, the more comes back. The more light you shine, the more darkness you get rid of, and that means you got more light coming on you. So post, come up with some, give me some encouragement. I will promise you, I would love it. The first thing I do every morning is I open my inbox because, there's some words of encouragement there, and I'm learning to share them with you. So I cheat a little bit. I share some stuff that people share with me, but hey, it works. But anyway, what I wanted to do is before I go into the message today, I wanted to kind of tell you the story behind the Facebook group page. And hopefully that'll encourage you to do something similar. I am one. All of my clients, if you happen to be a client, some of you are, but if you happen to be a client, I have this passion about journaling and writing and expressing yourself and putting it on paper. And you can do it. You can write it. You can type it on your your laptops or your phones or wherever, or you can record it. But journaling is an awesome way. It's just a perfect way to just pour out your heart, your thoughts, your feelings, and you've got something that you can go back to over a time period and see how far you've gone, or see where you need to tweak and readjust and back up and redo. So journaling. And so the Facebook page came about as kind of like a project for journaling for me about a year and a half ago. A little bit over, about a year and a couple of months ago, I had a trip to Barbados. And I took a 7-day trip to Barbados. And this was a trip that I had been planning, that I had thought about for like 25 years ago. And I always wanted to go to Barbados. And finally, things worked out, and I went to Barbados. Well, I went to Barbados with the purpose because I met some people from Barbados here, and I had some really good friends that were, from Barbados that lived here. And I was also a student. I was really a passionate student of Neville Goddard, who was also a Barbadian or Bajan. So he was from Barbados, and I just love their accent. I just fell in love with. I remember Maria, one of my coworkers, who I met when I was going to college. I was in school, just out of high school, and I was in college there, and we met, and we were best buddies because I just loved to hear her talk. So I fell in love with her, and then I studied Goddard, and Neville's, a lot of his work was recorded, and he would make his messages and his sermons were recorded, and he's long deceased. I think he died in the 70s or something like that. But I read and studied and just did absolutely everything in and about him. Read everything probably 2 or 3 times. So I had a love and a curiosity for the island, and it stayed with me. It stayed with me forever. Just stayed with me. When I retired, I had this bucket list, and I said that I wanted to go a couple of places. I wanted to go, and Barbados was, of course, one of the places. Finally got around to doing it, and I remember when I landed in Barbados and I stepped off the tarmac, and it was like I went home. It was like I'd never been there in my life. In fact, very few. I've gone to the Caribbean before, but not a lot of the islands. Some of the islands. So, but when I stepped off the tarmac, it was just I had this feeling that I was coming home. I was at home, and it was so funny. I'm taking my bag, and I just start crying. I was just bawling. I don't even know where the tears were coming from or why, but I was just so I was so struck. Well, I'm going to move forward. Long story short, I pulled myself together and I got through, the checkout and everything. But I had an opportunity while I was there. Absolutely after I checked into my little place and left, absolutely everywhere I went, it was like they were waiting for me. They were waiting for me, and I was well received. It was like they rolled out the Bajan carpet for me, and I absolutely everywhere I went, it was like I was the star. I was the celebrity or whatever, and I loved it. I really did. I loved it, and I ended up having my own little driver. You know, I met this really nice limo driver. He drove. I could call him at the drop, and he would arranged to pick me up, and I wanted to go here and there. So he was my personal driver, and I met a couple of other folk, and I had my own personal bartender. Jason was over there, was taking care of the beer, taking care of my drinks on the boardwalk, at the beach bar. So I mean, everywhere I went, the grocery store, the bank. Oh, you can get in this line over here, ma'am. I mean, everywhere I went, it was like they knew they were waiting for me. So it was that experience was it kind of like it just kind of started something. It just kind of opened up, it kind of shifted me to a different place. I was a whole different place after that with that experience. I did have an opportunity while I was there to even go to Neville Goddard's gravesite, and that was another experience. I mean, I was just sitting there on the gravesite. Did I have a drink? No, I didn't have anything to drink. I don't think I maybe had water or something. But I was sitting there. We had a little conversation with Neville, at his gravesite. The people at the cemetery were really, they were like waiting for me too. Oh yeah, we know where Neville is, and they took me to the site. And do we need to wait for you? No, you can go on. And I had a little conversation and a little visit with Neville. Played my music and we danced. Had a good time there. Driver came back, picked me up. Took me by Rihanna's house, and we kind of hung out at Rihanna's house. I didn't know that Rihanna was from Barbados, but I learned that. And took me to her house, and we hung out there. And it was an awesome 7-day trip. The whole time it was like family. I was like, everybody was like waiting for Jean to come back home. I had been gone forever, and they were glad to see. Nobody. I met no strangers the whole time, and I did have one thing that happened to me during one evening. I woke up early one morning, and I'm not even going to go into that, but it was like an epiphany, and it opened up almost a whole new roadway for me in my life, and I've been on that roadway for since about a year and a half, almost a year and a half now. But I say that to say when I came back home, this is when I really got into my coaching, my life coaching. I had been training for that and studying, and I decided that maybe I'll go on and do it. I can counsel a little bit, because I didn't really want to counsel, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I said, we'll do coaching. So I went on into that. And public speaking kind of started, off with that. And then I met the folk got really involved with the people at ITC, and then they offered me an opportunity to teach and speak at their facility, and all of this opened up. All of just after Barbados. So part of that was I wanted to. My thing was manifestation, because that's Neville Goddard, he was the father of manifestation, and I had to prove to myself all the things that he taught, and I wanted to live them and walk through them. But I knew that it required me to maintain a high vibrational frequency. I just had to keep my vibes up. That was my understanding. So I said, how am I going to do this? Because, life happens, and, you got to keep myself focused. So what I decided, I was going to journal, but I wanted to be committed to it. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a group page, and it's going to just be positive energy, love, light. I'm just going to spew it out every day. Every day, I'm just going to post my little heart to my heart's content on a Facebook page. But I didn't want to do it on my page, so I started this group page, and that's where the Conscious Creators came up. I came up with that idea of a page, and I was encouraged to just make it a public page and just do it. But it was going to be more like a journal for me. So for every day it's been about a year and a half, about 17 or 18 months, I started it, and every single day, absolutely every day, without fail, I post anywhere from 5 to 7 posts. And they came from me. They came from my heart. They came from, after I would get up and meditate, I would do my morning meditation, and my thankfulness, my gratitude, all that, and I just would pour it out as my journal. So it was like a journal for me. Now, I will promise you, for 17 months, I was not this happy, you know, everything going great for Jean kind of life. I didn't have that. Life was happening to me. But what happened, what I found out is that even as life was happening to me, even as COVID was coming down on us, all of those things that were striking at me, I was able to, because I maintained that high vibration, I was able to, you know, kind of get stunned, you know, kind of knocked around a little bit, but I would get back up. Remember that little clown that you punch and it bounces back? That's how I felt all year long. Things would punch me, I would out and I'm back up and let's go, you know? And I wouldn't stay. But there were a few days that I would, you know, like pull the cover over my head and I'm not getting out of bed, leave me alone. I took the phone off. Nope, I'm not getting up. But I always post. I always make my post. May not have been 5, but I posted, you know, that day. But that commitment and that ritual or that routine that I went through for that 17 months created in me a vibration that really, I mean, I've always been pretty high vibrational, but it got me to a point where it was I could maintain a consistent level of vibration. And even when stuff happened to me, I was already vibrating high. So it would, you know, it might have knocked me off my game just a bit, but I was vibrating so high that I would bounce right back. So I want to encourage you that pour out, give. And you've got light, you've got love, you've got something in you that you can give to somebody else to help them. Because you know that when we increase our vibration personally, we automatically increase the vibration of the world. Not just the people around you, but when you vibrate higher, just one of us raise our vibration, it automatically affects the whole world. And you tell me this world don't need a little bit of love and some serious vibration. Tell me that it don't. Tell me that it don't. Now come and, you know, do the bozo clown with you, okay? Because we know that this place that we live in this day and time, we need some love and we need some light. We need some healing. We need some positive energy going. We need somebody to tell us that it's going to be okay and encourage us and remind us that you still got hope. You know, you still got to remind us of those things. You can do that. You can help me do that because, like I said, I'm at a stage right now that I'm not able to do as much as I have been in the past. Just share. You know, you're off. I know I get information, or I get people share with me, and I share with you. If people share with you something that's positive and it's something that's going to uplift someone's spirit, or it made you smile, or it made you day, or reminded you of something, you know, that lifted your spirits up. If it lifted you up, it'll lift somebody else up. So share those posts, please, with us. And I'm gonna say thank you to Pearl. Pearl has been posting with me, and also Jay. Jay's been doing some posts. But I know they have their life. But I think it's 200 of you guys out there. I know if every one of you just posts every now and again. But I'm gonna tell you, the more you can share, the more you share a positive thought and a positive feeling or positive encouragement to anyone. It don't even have to be anybody specific. Just put it out there. People appreciate it because I get feedback constantly. I get feedback all the time telling me how much they appreciate it, or how it made their day, or I really needed to hear that, or do you mind if I copy and share this? Anything on that website, if you're able to share it, share it. If you're able to bring someone else to the website or to the Facebook page, do that as well. Because my whole point in doing that was to maintain my vibration, my spiritual, my energy vibration, my spiritual. I wanted to encourage, I wanted to lift myself up, and in the process, I wanted to share that. So I shared it. I shared it for 17 months. I'm going to continue the best I can. But I want to ask you to, if you have any encouragement to share, I can use it sometimes. Because some of those days when I have to pull the cover over my head and I'm not getting out of bed, or don't bother me, or, phone off the hook or whatever, turn the phone off. those are the days that I would love to, open the page and somebody, just a rose, I don't know, a flower splashed across the screen or whatever that I didn't have to do. So share your post if you would, if you get a chance to, on the Conscious Creators Toolbox page. And also, if you know anybody, if you have anybody that you want to invite to be a part of the group, do that as well. It is private and nothing but love. There ain't nothing but love up in there, as they say. So it's love and positivity. And, I will say, if you have any, if you kind of, like if you're me and you kind of get down, you don't want to be bothered or whatever, and you got to be in that slump for a minute and you think, you're not bouncing back like Bozo ought to do, that like the clown ought to bounce back, give me a call. I'm a life coach. Anybody on that group page, consider yourself a client. And if you need to talk to somebody, shoot me a text message. I can give you 15, 20 minutes, absolutely free. And I'm saying that I could probably maybe do more, but for sure I'll set aside if you need a pep talk. That's my gift to you. Just because I may not be able to post every day, but the love is still out there. I'm still sending it. I'm still vibrating off the chain, and trust me, it's overflowing. So hopefully you'll get it. You'll get some, but hopefully you too will get in a mood to share and want to share too. Just post. Post. Hey, I don't know. Post something to make me smile, make me laugh, make somebody laugh. I would appreciate it. Okay, and thanks again to Pearl for that, and I appreciate you guys participating in the riddle. That's kind of fun. And if you're a riddle master, if you have any riddles, hey, somebody could take that one over because I was using the almanac, and I figured out that they're repeating. They're getting kind of old, and it's like anybody can figure some of those out. So they're getting to be a little challenge. I try to make them as challenging as I can. So if you have any riddles, please share those as well. Let me know. And we can share those as well. Anyway, the higher self, that's what we got to be talking about this month. You're connecting with your higher self. That connection is your basic foundational connection. And that's, you get that worked out really good, and you got that connection going, and you're maintaining that. Chances are, all your other connections will be a piece of cake, okay? Because we know that at the very heart of ourselves, at the very center, we all know, or we sense something about ourselves that's unique or different or special or sacred. And it is. There is a part of us that's at the heart of us, at the core of our being, that we can't put our hands on, and we think, is it in my head, or is it in my heart, or where is it? And of course, time and space is an illusion, so we can't really place where it is, and I don't even know if it really matters, but it is our being. That is that being inside that is our life, that eternal piece of us that we sense and that we recognize as being something unique and something very special about who we are. And I don't care who we are. I don't care who we are. At some point in our lives, we can be the worst person in the world, or in somebody's estimation, or we can be the best person in the world by somebody's estimation. We can be the priest, the garbage collector, the guy that robbed the bank, or whoever we are. We all have that being. We all have that inside of us, and that makes us who we are as human and as conscious, as beings that belongs to eternity. It's that eternal part of us. I call it higher self. Some people call it the inner man, or the inner self. Some people call it the spirit man. Some people call it the soul. Now, what I'm gonna use higher self. I may interchange it every now and then, call it spirit man, or the inner self. But I usually talk of it or speak of it in terms of the higher man. You may call it any of those other names. Then you may have another name for it. If you do, shoot me and let me know what you call it, so I can. We're talking on the same. We're talking together. Okay, but we all have that. We all have that being in us, and that is what gives us the life that we have. That gives us that animates our lives. That gives that. I am alive because of it. it is the life in me. You know, it's the, and people debate it. I have folk, you know, some of my coach, my life coach associates and that network that I'm in. And some folks think, well, we're actually in, you know, that we're in that being, or we're in that life, that source. I tend to think that it's in me. It's in my physical body that I, you know. But it, you know, I'm not going to argue that, because we'll talk about that in maybe another session. But it is the eternal part of us, that essence of life, that's the core, that center, that heart center of us. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be really looking at over this month. We're going to be looking at it in the way we're going to look at why, you know, what is it? Where does it come from? What's the purpose and the benefit of it? We're going to be looking at all of those. But again, tonight we're just going to be talking about what is it? Who is it? And you know, what is it? How do you know? What about it? We're going to find out some things about it. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. And we're going to talk about it in terms of higher self, inner man, spirit man, or the soul, or the spirit. And it's all going to be about the same thing, about the same being, that same life-giving source. And that is what we're talking about, connecting with, or identifying and recognizing and acknowledging and embracing and maintaining a relationship with it, maintaining that relationship and that connection with. And first of all, that being, that life in us, that is what connects with, that is the higher self that connects with source. And by source, I mean with God, with universe, with creator, with creation, with our maker, the great I am, Jehovah, whatever you call your highers, that higher power is what the higher self makes that connection with. And that's the relationship that we're going to ultimately be talking about later on in the month. But again, tonight we're just defining what is that mysterious, sacred life essence. What is it? And how do I recognize it? How do I recognize it? What do I say about it? What do I tell people about it? What is it about it? You know, that makes it. You know, what do I need to know about it, Jean? So, what you need to know about it is that it's what gives you life. It's your life source. It's your life-giving source. It animates your physical being, but it is not confined to the physical. It's not. It'll exist when your body is dead and gone. It does not have an expiration date like the physical body does. It does not. You know, you're gonna bury this or cremate this physical body at some point in time. But that life source, that the part that's the you, the eternal you, is going to go on after this. And also, it's not necessary, it's not confined to the third dimension, to earth. You know, it's not. And it has nothing to do with our thought process or our thinking or our feelings. It has nothing to do with our taste and none of our five senses. It has nothing at all to do with our emotions, my imagination. It's totally separate from that, from all of that, separate from all of that, all of the stuff that makes me a human being. That life gives that human being animation, and it gives that human being the opportunity to experience or have the experiences that we have. That life, that essence in us connects us with source, that gives us that creative ability and those creative powers that allows us to create and manifest our experiences and our realities and the things and things that happen in our lives. That life, that inner man, or that inner being, that source, that life source, that being, that core, that's the part that connects with source. All right. A lot of times when we think about praying, or we think about meditating, or we think about imagining things, we're doing that with our mind, and we're doing that with ego, and we're doing that with those earthbound things, that earth stuff, the stuff that makes us earthy, human. But the inner man, that inner man, that spirit man, that essence, it has a whole different way to communicate, a whole different way to connect and have that communication with your higher self. If you want to talk to God, if you want to talk to universe, you can talk, you can say it in it. But if you want to really have a connection, that connection is through your higher self. That connection is through that life. It's not through the physical, it's not through the physical. It's not through those emotions, and it's not through the imagination. It is not through the taste buds and the hearing and all that. It is through that sacred, we don't know what to call it, kind of that life, that life, that source, that higher piece of you. And I don't want you to, and I don't want you to think that it's separate. It's not ever separate. It's not separated from higher self. With your mind and your thinking and your thought patterns, your thoughts are separated from it. But the source, that higher power, that higher you, is always and forever connected to source. We are disconnected mentally, emotionally, physically. We're disconnected from the awareness of source. That life, it is the consciousness. It's the consciousness. It's the consciousness, and our awareness goes from that aware of that consciousness, aware of that connection, or not being aware of that connection, to just being aware of our physical surroundings and our understanding that. So our awareness goes back and forth between our present and our physical surroundings and our everyday living in life. It goes from that to connecting or being aware of that life inside of us. And a lot of times we take for granted that life inside of us because we get so caught up in the physical. We get so caught up in how we're feeling and what we see and what we hear and what we taste and what we're talking about and just in the physical, that we forget that there's that sacred connection. We just take it for granted, or we just put it aside for a while. You will always hear me say or suggest to you or remind you that we're all aware. We're all aware. We're all awakened. And we all have consciousness. But we're not at the same level of awareness. And we're not at the same level of of awakened. We're not as awakened, and some of us are much more awakened than others, or have a much more alert awareness, or a much more keen awareness. Just more. We are forever becoming and forever evolving. And that evolution, that evolving, helps us. That what we're evolving in is we're evolving, not necessarily understanding here, because we get the education here. They educate us. We go to school from kindergarten to 12th grade, and then we go off to get some degrees and stuff like that. But that's for the mental. That's the mental education. The education or the understanding that we gain through the connection, or through our inner man, that spiritual man, that self. The only way we get that education is through the connection with our source. And it's not, I don't even know if you call it education so much. It's just we become more aware and more awakened to who we are and what we are, only through this connection with source, and only being aware of the connection. Again, we're never disconnected. That connection is always there. We're just not always attentive to it, or may not be as aware as we can be, or should be, or will be. Our purpose here, our purpose always in life, is to grow and we grow through the experiences that we have, and we can have experiences and we don't even understand them while we're having them. You know, that happens a lot. That's how we manifest stuff that we don't really mean to manifest. We just kind of just going with the flow. We just going. But until we really set our minds and our intentions to what we want and what we're doing, then we're going to always be, you know, missing something here and there. But when we become attentive to it in the physical, as well as being attentive spiritually and in that conscious level of awareness, that's when we start growing and we start really benefiting from all the experiences that we have. We are experiencing all the time. We're creating experiences. We're manifesting experiences all the time. And I want you to understand that experience. And when I say this, and this is, I tell my grandkids this too, we have experiences. And experience means, you know what experience means? It means experimenting, okay? And experimenting, understand that experimenting means that you don't get it perfect the first time. And sometimes you do an experiment a few times and you get a couple of different results or whatever. But you're looking for a specific result, so you keep doing it. You keep tweaking it and changing it a little bit, and do it. Add this or take that out or whatever. You change up a little bit to get the experience, and you're getting experience. And and that's what they are. Experiences are experiments. We are here to experiment and experience so that we can evolve. That's how we evolve. That's how we get to go to the next level, is through the understanding and the discernment of those experiences that we have through the physical realm that we're blessed to be in. I wanted to throw that out there, and I'm going to go back to that higher self and that connection. When we, as I was saying earlier, when we're talking to God and we're praying and we're putting our petitions out there and we're asking for this or giving thanks for all of our blessings or whatever, or just our prayers, we're saying them mentally. We're mentally praying. And of course, of course, universe can understand it all, because they know. But when we are receiving from that source, when we're receiving from source, it's a little bit different, because source, it's a whole lot bigger than just this little world that we live in, and it's all the unknown. It's stuff that you don't understand, that you don't know. And I don't know. I don't know. I may be one of a few people of you guys, if you're looking at it. What happens with me is that I tend to get a lot of, I call them downloads, and all of a sudden I know that I get this information. It's like, and I'm sharing things with people, and I kind of sit back sometimes and like, how did I know that? Where did that come from? Well, it came from my connection with Source through my higher self. It came to me, and I'm sharing it. I'm sometimes in writing, when I'm doing some books or writing out blogs or whatever. It's pouring out of me, but it was something that was given to me, and I know that I didn't know it. I mean, it's not something that somebody taught me or showed me, but it was revealed to me strictly in that connection with my higher self. So one of the benefits of being connected to self is that you have access to everything, to unknown, because Source is the source of everything. And if you maintain that connection and you maintain that relationship with your higher power and through your higher self, then you're going to know, and you're going to know, how did I know that? But you know, well, I don't know, but no, it just came. It just came. And we all have that. We all have an opportunity. It happens to all of us. You may take it for granted. You may just take it, not even, it may happen to you and don't even think about it. But I'm going to encourage you to recognize sometimes when you're meditating, or kind of switch up a little bit. When you're praying, remember you're talking. But when you're meditating, you're basically sitting and you're being quiet and you're trying to receive. You're trying to just, quiet your thoughts, quiet your out, some beyond you, beyond your ego and your mind, and because the only thing mind is going to be, mind can tell you stuff, but it's only going to tell you stuff that you can identify and that you can rationalize and you can see. Sometimes you get things that don't make sense when you're receiving from your higher self, and you get the answer to situations and to questions and to problems out of nowhere, that, well, seemingly out of nowhere, but it's out of that connection. So I'm gonna basically, I want to encourage you to understand that you do have access to everything. You have access to infinity, really, through your connection with higher power and through your higher self. Get to know, get to understand that, just that deep, quiet knowing in yourself. And it usually is. It's usually, it's, your mind is going chatter, 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 and talking to yourself all the time, talking to you all the time, got something going on all the time. But your higher self is a quiet, almost a shy-like child that just sits there, almost like in a corner, just waiting for you to acknowledge that it's there, it exists. And it's total, it's pure, it's just pure love. It's totally unconditional love, nothing but compassion. There is no fear in it whatsoever. And really, that's how, one of the ways you can recognize it is that all of a sudden you got this, just got this overflowing love. You just, it's just, nothing can make you not love that person, or I'm just gonna love this person or this situation. You just have just an unconditional amount of love when you're connected with, when you have and maintain that connection. You also have a compassion that is beyond understanding sometimes. You also can express and dispense your light and your light energy and you're just life. You're just full of life, and you're just pouring it out, and it's coming back to you faster than it goes. It's just a remarkable feeling when you really manage to connect and maintain it. And when you can maintain and be aware of the connection, not just be, because we're connected, but be aware that you are. And we're gonna talk about how you can develop that connection, how you can nurture that connection, and how you can move forward in your life to keep that connection. Because that's something, if you want to be in control or be the master of your life, or you want to manifest and you want to create and manage stuff that's happening in your life, that connection is the answer to all of that. That connection will answer. It answers. You got stuff start happening to you, and you just sit back, and you connect it, and it's okay. COVID can happen any day of the week, but it's okay, because you know who you are. You know what you are. You have no fear. You have no fear. You have no worry. You have nothing but love, baby. Nothing but love and compassion. So I'm just kind of putting it out there tonight, and I'm not gonna go too far into it. It's probably really tune in on it a lot more maybe next week. Because I really wanted to get the little thing out about, please post on the Facebook page. But I do want to bring you to awareness that we all have access to source. We all are connected to source. We all have a higher being, a higher power, higher self, an inner life in us that is connected to source. Don't get so busy with life. Don't get so busy in this world that you forget that, because that makes all of this possible. That connection and that relationship makes all of this possible, whether it's the best of best or the worst of worst. It makes it possible. And by maintaining and being connected and maintaining that connection, you begin to manifest and enjoy life in ways that you just never even thought that it could be. It could happen for you. I'm getting, I'm getting so I'm getting full about it because it's a remarkable place to be. It's a remarkable piece of piece of life, even if you just have it for just a few minutes, to just be at peace and be okay with stuff and look at life in a whole different way, and things that that used to matter, well, they matter in a different kind of way. And but the different kind of way is not only good for you, but it's good for the people in your life and in your surroundings, that you can pour out to people, and you don't get dry, and you don't get and when you feel you feel yourself getting dry, you know how to where to go back and get that restart, and get a fill up, or you know how to make sure that you're plugged in, and plugged in just so you understand that. And we all have different ways of doing it. And I'm going to share with you some of the ways that I know that I do it, and some of the ways that other folk that I know we've talked about and shared with each other, and we do. So I'm going to be talking about that throughout the sometime during the month. We're going to talk about how you connect, and talk about that real connection. But I just want you to really sit down just over the next week. Just sit down with yourself and just quiet yourself, and just try to sense that, and sense that. And when you sense it, maybe for the first real time, it's going to feel like a child. It's going to feel like a little child, and just going to be like this person that's sitting there, and it's like, where you been? I've been waiting for you. And and just, and you're just not going to, not even going to really know what to say. And you won't really have to say anything, because you're going to feel just an unbelievable sense of peace, an unbelievable sense of love. And maybe for the first time in your life, because a lot of my clients tell me, for the first time in my life, Jean, I felt like I wasn't alone, and I would never, ever be alone. And have that feeling for the first time is remarkable. But to be able to wake up in the morning and know, and that you can sit alone in your light, nobody could be around, and you could be okay, because you're not. You're not alone. That being, that life, that connection is there. That's your BFF. Not gonna call you no names, not gonna turn the back on you, not gonna, bail out when the going gets tough. It's patiently waiting to just be acknowledged, and to allow you to express your love, and to love on you. So I'm gonna talk a little bit more about how you identify with that, and how you can really get the best possible pleasure and bliss and love out of that connection as you possibly can. I really want that. That's one of the gifts that I wanted. One of the first gifts I wanted to give to my clients, and to you guys this year, is that understanding. Because honestly, when I discovered that in my life, it's kind of changed. It's changed the whole. Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I don't even recognize myself. Really, it's changed so much about my feelings, my thought patterns, my way, the way I receive and give, and my worry. If when I can flip, I flip the switch on negativity so much faster than I ever could in the past. I was talking to a girlfriend the other day, and I was just listening to the news, and sometimes the news just get me going, and all of a sudden I just start laughing, and I'm thinking, what is this? What am I wearing? It's gonna make such a remarkable difference in your life once you really grasp the understanding of that who that higher self is, and how you're connected, how you remain connected even when you're not thinking about it, or even recognizing or knowing it, how you're connected to source. And source means Father, source means God, source means the universe, source means whatever you call the higher power. How you're connected, how that's connected, and how it stays that way. That connection is intact. Nobody can mess with that connection. Nobody. And when you get that, You are in, hey, whatever. Whatever is whatever. You're good. You're good to go. I'm going to leave it there, but I do want to make sure that I said this. The definition of higher self is that spiritual essence of ourselves that is love, compassion, wisdom, pure energy, and light. There's probably some more stuff in there, but if you get those, you are, you're unstoppable. If you get that understanding and maintain those connections with that self that is love, that is compassion, that is wisdom, that's pure energy, light, you are unstoppable. And you will automatically evolve yourself into all kind of masters, whatever it is you want to be. You want to master. So I'm going to leave it at there. Our awareness, and basically remember too, that our awareness moves from physical, from who we, from here, from this world, to the higher self, which has access to other worlds, to infinity, for eternity, forevermore, and that's our source. That's source. That life in us, it never dies. It never ever dies. And if you've been sitting on it, if you've been awake and aware and conscious for any length of time, and you have not connected and maintain a connection with that higher self, you are in for a treat when it happens. And when you get to the place where you've evolved enough that you know how to maintain it, y'all gonna be off the chain manifestors. I'm telling you guys, okay? Y'all gonna be masters any day now. I really appreciate you guys joining me, and I really hope that you kind of do some thinking and meditating and kind of quiet yourself this week. Try to sense and feel. I always like to do this. I just kind of put my hands here and just kind of just pat my little chest here. I don't know what that does, but it kind of I feel something that kind of feels like a smile back at me. So, but quiet yourself and try to listen. Don't worry so much about what you're feeling, but try to listen. Just close your ego. Tell ego to take a seat for a minute. I'll be right back, and just listen for that self. And you might hear something sounds like a little whimper at first, or feel a little nudge going on somewhere. You don't even know where it's coming from, but you feel it. And that might be that little person, that little self that's saying, oh, where you been? There you are. You came to see me. And once you guys get to be buddies, that BFF, you have a BFF, a real BFF, a best friend forever. I appreciate you guys. In the meantime, I'm your BFF. I'm with you. I'm down with you. Give me a shout if I can ever do anything for you, if I can cheer you up in any way, or you've got some negativity going on. You need to figure out what to do with it. I got a place for it. Give me a shout and let me know. Let me know how I can help you and be co-create, co-manifest something. I like making stuff. Anyway, y'all have a good week. I will see you on Sunday for 7 at 7 on Sunday, the mini life coach session. I don't know what we'll be talking about, but it'll be something, hopefully something that will be helpful for you. So kind of tune back in with me on Sunday at 7, or see you next Thursday at 7 for the second session of your higher self connecting with your higher self. God bless you. God loves you. I do too. And love on each other. Post, P-O-S-T, something, anything. Take care. I'll see you next week. Good night.